Russia's war in Ukraine may have landed in Moscow as the Kremlin deals with a drone attack in the country's capital. Russia says Ukraine is responsible for the drones that caused light damage to some apartment buildings. The latest turn of events trending online. Russia says Ukrainian drones struck Moscow today in what one politician called the worst such attacks since World War II. All the while, Kiev was also hit by air for the third time in 24 hours. Since Russia sent troops into its neighbor in February last year, the war has largely been fought inside Ukraine, though Moscow has reported some attacks on its territory and said one was an assassination attempt against President Vladimir Putin. Today's early morning raid targeted some of Moscow's wealthiest areas, including a western zone where Putin and the elite have residences. Putin was later in the Kremlin and received a briefing on the attack, a spokesperson said.
Kyiv chose the path of intimidation of Russian citizens and attacks on residential buildings. It is a clear sign of terrorist activity. The Moscow air defense system worked satisfactorily. However, there is still work to be done to make it better.
Russia's defense ministry said 8 drones sent by Kyiv were shot down or diverted, though Baza, a Telegram channel with links to the security services, said more than 25 were involved. 2 people were injured while some apartment blocks were briefly evacuated, according to Moscow's mayor. Residents said they heard loud bangs followed by the smell of petrol. Some filmed a drone being shot down and a plume of smoke. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, Kyiv said 4 people are dead in Russia's latest attacks today, with 34 wounded, including 2 children. In the capital, Ukrainian defense forces said they shot down more than 20 Iranian-made drones.
Actually, in May, we have a lot of attacks to our city, not just to capital of Ukraine, also in other cities, and a lot of people killed from Russian terrorists. It's terrorism. It's not a war.
1 person died and 4 were injured when debris from a destroyed Russian projectile hit a Kyiv high-rise apartment building, causing a fire, officials said. 2 upper floors were destroyed, with people possibly still under rubble. Russia has attacked Kyiv 17 times in May alone with drones or missiles, mostly at night, in an apparent attempt to undermine Ukrainians' will to fight after more than 15 months of war. But Ukraine says U.S.-supplied Patriot anti-missile defenses are achieving 100% interception rates. Kyiv is promising a counteroffensive backed with Western weapons to try to drive Russian occupiers from territory seized in Moscow's so-called special military operation.